The Chicago Bears entered the 2025 offseason with a clear goal: fix the offensive line. They had just endured a season marred by a league-worst 68 sacks allowed, crippling their offensive production. General manager Ryan Poles and head coach Ben Johnson know they had to make drastic changes. Their solution? An aggressive free agency spending spree, bringing in several high-priced veterans. The Bears made a huge splash by trading for offensive linemen Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney. They also signed center Drew Dalman to a massive contract, making him the second highest-paid player at his position. These moves signaled a clear commitment to protecting whoever their quarterback would be in 2025, though it came at a steep cost. Defensively, the Bears focused on bolstering their front seven. They added veteran defensive tackle Grady Jarrett and signed edge rusher Dayo Odeyingbo to a lucrative deal, re-signing linebacker Amen Ogbongbemiga and defensive tackle Chris Williams added much-needed continuity to the defensive unit. This aggressive approach signaled a clear intent to compete immediately. The Bears, however, mortgaged a significant portion of their future to do so. The question now becomes, did they do enough? And will it be enough to turn the tide in the tough NFC North? The Bears' free agent class arrives with high expectations, but also significant question marks. Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney are proven veterans, but both are entering their 30s and have battled injuries in recent years. Drew Dalman, while talented, is coming off an ankle injury that sidelined him for half of the 2024 season. The injury concerns extend beyond the offensive line. Grady Jarrett, while a force when healthy, has a history of nagging injuries that have limited his availability. Any significant injury to these key acquisitions could derail the Bears' season before it even begins. Even if they stay healthy, there's no guarantee of performance. Dayo Odeyingbo, despite his hefty contract, managed only 3 sacks last season. The Bears are banking on him realizing his potential, but what if he doesn't? The same question applies to the entire free agent class. The Bears need them to not only stay healthy, but to play at a high level to justify their massive contracts. The pressure is immense. The Bears have put all their eggs in this basket, and any cracks could lead to a disastrous outcome. The Bears' spending spree, while addressing key needs, has created new challenges. The massive contracts handed out to Dalman, Odeyingbo, and others have eaten up a significant portion of their salary cap space. This limits their flexibility in free agency going forward and could hinder their ability to extend key players in the future. Beyond the financial constraints, the Bears still have glaring holes on their roster. While the offensive line received a much-needed makeover, the receiving corps remains a concern. With Keenan Allen set to become a free agent next season, the Bears lack a true number 1 receiver. Their depth at cornerback and safety is also questionable, especially with the health of Jaquan Brisker in question and the poaching of Reddy Stewart in the offseason. The Bears will need to rely heavily on the draft to address these needs. Finding immediate contributors will be crucial, as their limited cap space will make it difficult to sign impact players in next year's free agency. The Bears' aggressive approach has put immense pressure on general manager Ryan Poles and the coaching staff. They have bet their future on this roster and the clock is ticking. Fans and ownership are expecting immediate results, and anything less than a playoff berth will be considered a failure. The pressure is amplified by the disappointment of last year, which included a 10-game losing streak. This signaled a new era in Chicago. The new staff and free agent moves made sense from a roster-building perspective, tasking the Bears with developing the face of the franchise. The Bears are in a state of transition. They have assembled a talented yet unproven roster, with a new quarterback under center. The margin for error is razor thin. If the injury bug bites or if the free agent acquisitions don't pan out, the Bears could find themselves back to square one, a team mired in mediocrity, with limited cap space and a depleted draft capital. The time is now for the Chicago Bears.